Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about keeping our pH balanced, the importance of that. Also, I think the number one thing I get asked is, Casey, how do I detox? Casey, I need a detox, XYZ or whatever, which is going to be my next video. But you can detox all day long, which is still good. But if you have an acidic environment in your inner terrain, um, those things it's they're going to come back because all of those things you're trying to detox out thrive in an acidic environment. Um, so optimal pH is 7.36. I say between 7.2 to 7.5 is a good range. You want be a little bit more on the alkaline side. Um, the scale runs 0 to 14. 7 is neutral. And then, anything below that, lower you get is acidic, and anything above that is alkaline. Yes, you can get too alkaline and have negative effects, but it is extremely rare for people to be too alkaline. Most people are too acidic, which comes from dietary stuff, things in our environment, you know, food, water, air, toxins that come in our body a variety of different ways. Um, but one of the big things you start off with is these little pH strips. So they can come in like these little, um, like it looks like cow tape comes, or you can get like little dipsticks. I've used both, whatever you can get a hold of, and then it has little charts on it. The best thing to do is to check your saliva and your urine first thing in the morning before you've had anything to eat or drink. You and then track that for a while and see where you're falling. And you don't want your saliva pH higher than your urine pH. And I'll get into that more in another video, why what your body's doing when that happens. But everything, like our pH is the most important biochemical balance needed in our body to, if you have chronic disease or illnesses, or to prevent or heal disease or illnesses. You have to get your pH in a neutral, more alkaline environment. um, Viruses, bacteria, candida, cancer thrive in an acidic environment, and those things will not heal um, if we don't have our pH balanced. And just like this thing going around, the C19er, um, a lot of people who are not getting as affected are have a more alkaline, neutral pH. It cannot take hold, and that's for any viruses or pathogen going around, what anything that was come against our bodies. Um, but like some examples is even like iodine. Like if we take iodine, it cannot even get to our thyroid to do the benefits of why we need that in our diet, if we're acidic. Your vitamins and minerals cannot absorb or break or metabolize properly in an acidic environment. So all of those balances are going to be off, as well. And so, like I said, like if you're acidic, it directly affects your immune system. And this is why if you're acidic, you get sicker, you take longer to recover, and it's just all that thrives in an acidic environment. We get inflammation, allergies, arthritis, tremendous amount of GI issues come from being too acidic. It's all connected. And you know, our bodies start using so much energy and the resources it has that it's trying to alkalize itself. And so, and the main things, it'll start pulling magnesium and calcium are the two main things. It'll start pulling it from our bones, our teeth, and our other organs. And then so it can't worry about, oh, I need to fight off these viruses, I need to fight off cancer, I need to fight off, I'm overgrown with candida or whatever, because it's just focused on, I need to get we're so acidic, I'm trying to alkalize itself, and it just wears it out. Most women who have or get osteoporosis have had long-term acidic pH, um, because it just pulls all the calcium out of their bones trying to neutralize the pH again. And the big way to do that is people think, oh, they think calcium is like, oh, let's just drink all this milk. And the biggest thing is leafy green vegetables. If you just do that every day, like I don't care if you're just eating a handful of green smoothies, however you get them in, that keeps your pH where it needs to be, and it's not pulling all its resources and doing other damage in its body, focusing on trying to get itself more on a neutral alkaline state. I watched this a documentary a couple years ago, and it was this elderly lady, and she was talking about her and her family. I cannot remember the state or town that she was in, somewhere in the South, I believe, when the Spanish flu was going through during that time frame. And she said that her mother and her father, and she gave all the children a teaspoon of baking soda and water every morning and made them drink it, and none of them got sick. And this about wiped the town out. And her family started being like the big family that was taking care of all these people that were sick and dying from the Spanish flu, and they were constantly exposed to it, and none of them ever got it. None of them got sick. And she was talking about how her mother said, if you take this, it's going to neutralize your body and you're not going to be able to get sick. And I mean, think of how long ago that was. And it, I mean, it's just proof over and over again. Something so simple um, can prevent these things from happening in our body. Okay, so moving on to alkalizing our bodies and keeping that where it needs to be, or balancing it back out if you are very acidic. I would start every day with some lemon and water. Now you can do that in warm water, room temperature, cold, whatever you like. Warm water is usually better in the mornings. It kind of wakes everything up and absorbs quicker and easier. But whatever you prefer, however you want to drink it, do that. That's one of the best ways to get that going. Of course, eat your leafy green vegetables. You can put them in smoothies. Raw is best because raw vegetables like that, plant-based foods, they clean your blood, which will then alkalize your body. And so we usually go with the 80-20 rule. 80% of your food should be alkaline and 20% should be acidic. I'm going to try to, I don't know all the bells and whistles of YouTube yet and how that works, but I'm going to try to attach a chart that has like food and where they fall on the pH scale, either in the descriptions or something. But if I can't get it attached and you're interested or want that chart, email me at kclittleowl@gmail.com and I will send it to you. And it's a really neat, quick go-to chart if you want to look at that. Tons of water. Water will flush us. Make sure you're drinking, good water. Most city tap water is loaded with chemicals we don't need that is going to make us acidic. But that will help flush out all that extra, acid buildup, toxins that cause that. And the next thing is limit your caffeine and your refined sugar. I know I love my coffee too, but I mean it's not saying you can't have those things. It's the same thing with foods that are more acidic. The point is to be balanced, is to keep things balanced. I don't like the word diet. I've never been on a diet in my life. I think diet is labeled as like faddish or temporary or whatever. I consider things a lifestyle. If you make things your lifestyle, not thinking in your mind like I'm on this diet, it just mentally, I think it mentally just helps us more to know that you're changing your lifestyle. This isn't something temporary like, okay, I'm gonna do this diet and then I'm gonna hit this number and I can go back, because you'll undo everything you did. Also sweating. If we're sweating, work up a sweat, right? And please, please stop wearing antiperspirant deodorants. And I know people say, Casey, but I'll sweat, it stinks and everything. And if your sweat stinks, you are full of toxins, and it's usually a bacteria level that is on your skin. And it's coming out as what you smell. If you get your pH balance and then you do your detoxing, your sweat should not have that strong odor. But that is your body's, if we're wearing antiperspirant deodorant, we're trapping that in. And again, we're just kind of chasing our tail, and that doesn't, we're not getting anywhere with that. And then the next one is reduce stress. I know in this day and age we live in, please reduce your stress, right? But high stress releases chemicals in our body that make us acidic. So it's going to change that chemical balance anyways. So whatever your stress reduction works for you. Now, if it's, I say unplug, everybody should have at least 1 day a week, unplug from everything. Earthing, take your shoes off, get out there, earth on the ground. That helps pull free radicals out of your body and balance things. Whatever meditation works for you, whatever works for you as a stress relief, you need to do that. Make that a priority. That is part of your lifestyle, that you are going to make sure, because everything I promise that is stressing us out around the world in our daily lives, it'll be there when we come back, or we just need to let it go. And because it's not worth our health. At the end of the day, we have to have that. And so whatever works for you, do that. Do the You can do up to a teaspoon of baking soda in water. Please do not just take that by itself. These things have to be diluted. If you have problems with high blood pressure and you notice that baking soda aggravates that, don't do the baking soda, do the lemon water. I alternate mine. I switch them up all the time. Sometimes one day, or switch them up through the day, whatever I'm feeling. The foods I mentioned, and in that chart, if you want that chart, don't forget, you can email me and I will get it to you if I can't get it attached underneath this. And heal your gut. Apple cider vinegar is great for your gut. A warning with apple cider vinegar: it has to be diluted. And then if you have ulcers, you're going to want to skip on the apple cider vinegar until you get your ulcers healed, because that can burn them up even more. And if you have diabetes, that doesn't mean you can't have apple cider vinegar, but some people with diabetes, apple cider vinegar, and they're like on insulin and stuff like that, it will bottom their sugar out too much, because apple cider vinegar tries to balance your blood sugar anyways. It's a great way to prevent those things, like type 2 diabetes. So if you're diabetic, check that, or just go low and slow with any new thing you add and see how it affects you. And then and probiotics, kefir. I love kefir for healing your gut. It works wonder, because our gut, there's a big thing on gut brain connection. I don't know if you ever heard that. You can look it up. Or if y'all want a video on that one day, I'll do that, of how that connects. It's really interesting, and all of a sudden it'll start making sense. But you gotta get your pH in balance to prevent a lot of things. And these are simple things of our food intakes. Baking soda, lemons, apple cider vinegar, those are staples in our house that we keep for these reasons, and a lot of other reasons those work for, that you can prep for, to keep these things as time goes on. So if just remember, it's a lot easier if we prevent these things from taking place or taking hold in our body. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to heal or to treat it after the fact. And I hope this helps. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, or you can email me, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless.